Online courses with Kane Online normally run in 8 weeks, which is really fast. We cover twice as much material each week as compared to our regular in-person classes. So things move fast, but in the summer they move even faster. So I wanted to provide this kind of brief uh, video intro to the course just so you don't lose too much time on getting started and to know what I'm expecting and how I see things working. So let's take a quick look at that. So everything will be in Canvas. I hope you already have access to the Canvas site. Um, we're going to use Canvas predominantly. I probably will send you a link with this video just so that you have it if you haven't gotten into Canvas, but you absolutely need to access Canvas. All your work will have to be done in Canvas, submitted, and etc. I don't take emails with attachments or anything else. Even when it comes to communicating with me, as you see, I've already got kind of highlighted. This is the menu that you're going to see in Canvas. So it's your view of it, and there's already an Ask the Instructor public forum. And I would encourage everybody to keep an eye on it. Even if you don't post anything to it, there might be a question out there that you could answer better than I can. So let's definitely make use of that. When something posts to that, I immediately get a notification, so I should be able to stay on top of that. And I have Canvas working on my phone and on my iPad, so I should be able to stay really on top of these things. All the modules are out there and built and ready to go. As you can see down here in the bottom, there's module 1 already waiting for you and to get started. So we can't lose a lot of time on this. There are 8 modules. For late work, yes, there is a deduction for every day that things are late, but after 4 days, they're not going to be graded. They're going to be a 0. So don't bother turning stuff in after 4 days past the due date. So let's get running on this. The summer schedule has been posted, and for those of you that have had Kane online courses before, you're kind of used to the flow, but the flow is different. This is the first summer we're going to try this. Kane online modules are always 8 modules, but the summer semester is only 7 weeks. So we're going to go on a modified schedule. So each module won't start on Monday like we're used to. Each module will run 6 days, so it's going to change throughout the semester of what is the start day and what is the end day of each module. So please be careful on this. Let me show you what the details look like on this by going to the kind of next one. I broke this out so I could kind of keep an eye on it myself. I'm going to try to post this page itself in the announcements so you have it. But as you notice, module 1 starts on Monday, May 19th. I'm going to have a live session. I'm going to do those as close to the first day of the module as I can, but my work schedule may interrupt that some. But I have them all scheduled. I'll do the best I can on it. But the initial discussion, and there is a discussion question every week. So it's due by the end of the second day of the module. So I put those dates out there so I can keep an eye on them as well. That's your initial discussion. Everything in the module, whatever assignments are due, quizzes are due, they're all done by the date that I show, which is the 6th day of the module, not the 7th. So we start on a Monday, we end on Saturday of the first module. The second module then kicks in on the next day, Sunday. And so this is really going to be a tight schedule. I want to encourage you to keep a close eye on your dates so you don't miss and unnecessarily turn in assignments late. I think strategically, since the class is strategic management, strategically sometimes it's okay. You need to turn things in late. You've got other things you've got to prioritize. And so you'll be late on an assignment. So it's okay. I accept late assignments. It's a small deduction. So watch those dates. The semester will be over before we know it. Course materials. You absolutely are going to have access to the textbook. This course is built on McGraw-Hill Connect. Hopefully you've each had experience with that. McGraw-Hill Connect will not only give you access to the assignments and the quizzes, but it'll also give you online access to the ebook. And the ebook has an AI reader built into it, so it has some nice features. I will say, I mentioned in an earlier post, the book we're using from McGraw-Hill I think is just outstanding. So McGraw-Hill texts are notoriously easy to read. They're made for students. They have really important concepts in them, but they explain them in a really usable way. So it's an important resource for us because each week I am not going to read you the textbook. I'm not going to go through those 70 slides that come with the PowerPoints. They're posted out there, and I hope they help you in your preparations. But I'm not going to go through all those. I expect you're reading the chapter. I'm going to add my insights and my clarifications to that. When I went on the bookstore site, it says the materials are not available yet, which is really okay because they charge an exorbitant amount for the materials, and the materials should be available most affordably directly through our course in McGraw-Hill Connect. I don't have the details on how to do that, so if some of you have experience with that, I said please post it on the Ask the Professor discussion board. Share some of that information with your colleagues. Let's get that information out there because I don't want people to be late getting started on the course because they don't have access. McGraw-Hill provides 2 weeks of free access. So when you click on it, it'll say you can just take your 2 weeks free trial right now, but you have to pay the fee and get the code before the 2 weeks are up, or you will lose access to the materials and you will lose ground very quickly in this course if you're not able to access the materials. Live sessions. I'm required to do a 1-hour live session each week, so I already have those scheduled through Zoom. I try to do them as close to the beginning of the module as I can, but since sometimes we're starting on Saturday and sometimes we're starting on Sunday and sometimes we're starting on a holiday, I'm not always able to do that. So the schedule is out there. You'll see them all. I'll show it to you in just a second. My intention with that 1-hour session is I'm going to provide some highlights on each chapter, some areas that I have some particular interest or expertise in that I hope I can share that'll kind of bring some of the content from the chapter to life. And I also provide some comments on the assignments and how you might best approach those assignments. So while I don't expect folks to actually attend the live session, you're welcome to. I'll take questions at the end of my presentation in the live session, but you can always post your questions to me at any time through the discussion board, through the messaging app, that sort of thing. I will record the live sessions and I will post them. So I really strongly suggest that you take a quick listen to them. I may be very concise, even though it's an hour session. I may really only present 20 minutes worth of highlights from the chapters, and then I'm just going to sit there for the remainder of the hour to see if anyone jumps in at any point in the hour to ask a question or anything like that. So I'll record the whole thing, but the content of it may only be 15, 20, 30 minutes, and so it might be a great way for you to get some insights and some valuable input on your assignments. So do keep an eye on those live sessions. But again, I'm not going to take attendance. I'm not going to be frustrated or disappointed or worried if you don't attend the live sessions. I'm fine to just provide the recordings and you can listen to them at your discretion. So here's the way it works. This is actually our Canvas site, and if you click on Zoom, you'll see this schedule, and you'll see I've put them out there, all of our live sessions. I'm trying to schedule them between 1 and 2, so I'm going to do them during my lunch hour. But we can also, we can schedule times to discuss things otherwise, or we can discuss through various messaging. So they're all out there, and then once I run them and record them, you'll be able to access them over there in the right where it says Cloud Recordings. So you should be able to see that right there on Cloud Recordings. Upcoming are all listed out down there. I do have a full-time job here at the university, so while I have great plans on doing each one of those at one, if I get called into a meeting or have to be sent somewhere to cover something, then there's a chance that the session might not occur as planned, but I will make sure I record and post something for you that week so you have the content that you need. Assignments. There are assignments every week. Module 1 has a quiz and two deliverables in it. So you need to allow time to get those done before the 6th day, the due date for those assignments. So the quizzes are usually 10 questions about the content from the chapters that are assigned. The questions are fairly challenging, so I don't think you should go in and plan on never reading the book and you're going to just breeze through those. I've run through those questions. They made me really scratch my head and think about the content. So That's the goal of those. In the assignments, the written assignments and so forth, expect that I'm looking for you to integrate the knowledge from the course, from the assigned content that week. Don't, I use the term, shoot from the hip and go, oh, I'm just going to wing this. If you turn in the 2 pages or 3 pages or whatever's required, and you don't make any use of the terms that have been introduced in either my live session or in the chapter, then that's a clear sign that you're really not trying to work with the material and really understand it and be able to apply it. So the purpose of those assignments is for you to show me that you understand the materials and you know how to apply it and use that material. It's a graduate level course, so it's a lot of work, and it's incumbent upon you to complete the assignments in such a way that show that you truly understand the material, and that's going to be reflected in the grades. So when I grade those assignments, you can see the rubrics out there. I'm going to be looking for, are you really showing expertise? Because if you're going to get an A in the course, A means outstanding, complete mastery of the subject matter. So I don't give A's for just completing the assignments. A's need to show that you really, really know this stuff and you know how to use it. So you've wrestled with it and not just blown through it. B's are great for I blew through it. C's are for people who stumbled through it. So you got a good handle on it, you're doing all right in the materials, you're turning in your assignments on time, you can plan on getting a B in the course. You miss assignments, assignments are late, assignments are incomplete, you really didn't read the material and apply it, it's going to look like a C. I'm open for A's, B's, and C's. Help each other out. So you know each other hopefully from other courses. If you don't, get to know some people. It's great. What do you think he's looking for? How did you approach this? Share your ideas on that stuff. But never share your work because then the person you share it with may accidentally cut and paste it into their product and submit it. And then you're both going to get zeros on it. So never submit someone else's work. I would say don't share your original work and say, oh, let me just send you what I did. It's just too easy for the work to be handed in twice. And if I see that, you're both going to get zeros and it's going to go in as an academic integrity violation. So let's just stay away from that. And speaking of which, we got to talk about AI. I'm an AI user. I think it's a really important tool in business today. But I'll start at the bottom line there. I'm assessing your understanding and application of strategic management. I am not grading you based on your ability to use AI. So when I see this assignment, I don't want you using AI in them unless I've specifically said, hey, use AI to get some foundational information and then build it out into your own work. So you should expect you're not going to be using AI. Absolutely never in your discussion board posts. You will get a 0. I'm going to run everything through Turnitin and through zerogpt.com. I know there's problems with AI detection, but these tools do a pretty good job with it, and oftentimes I can tell because I work with AI. So just don't do it. Do not use generative AI, ChatGPT, Bard, Copilot, whatever it is, particularly in your discussion boards. I will be looking at each assignment carefully because I think AI can help us with writing and help us with doing some things, but I will let you know specifically when you should be using AI to get a start on an assignment. But even if I allow it for a start of the assignment, my expectation is you go to ChatGPT or whatever AI gen you use, and you'll ask it a question. So tell me this, 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 or that. What are the high points? What are the summary points? And it'll give you some information. I expect you to then take that information from AI and massage it and add your own flavor to it and make it your own product. So never, ever just run an assignment into a Gen AI and copy and paste that in and submit it. That will absolutely get you a 0. I'm looking for on selected assignments, and I will be specific on which assignments, that you should be using AI and then wrapping yourself around that. But I'll tell you, in Module 1, no AI. There's 2 assignments in there, and I expect you'll do the work yourself on those and make your own input on that.